Hello and welcome to the TV Rundown, the TV news web series that, thanks to the upfronts, cannot possibly tackle all of the TV news from the last 2 weeks. For those unfamiliar, the upfronts are rather awkward events held every year by major US broadcasters where they invite advertisers and press to join them in a cramped auditorium to listen to them brag about the success of the previous season and trot out all of their new and returning shows in trailers designed to entice the advertisers to purchase ad space up front. It's a bit like a meat market for next year's shows. What a lovely piece of this new sitcom about two inexplicably beautiful cops. Yeah, alright, sounds a bit generic, but here's the twist, love. They don't get on. It's bloody crazy. Come on, buy today and I'll throw in 2 rashers of a new game show format called You Smell That? Alright, so who wants advertising space in this bad boy, yeah? Looking at you, L'Oreal. This show got a lead actress with hair they'll be talking about for years, yeah? Looking at you too, Burger King. We got a fat bloke as well. To avoid an awkward conversation about the shows that won't be back next year, networks usually announce the cancellations and renewals the week before so they can forget about all those embarrassing mistakes and failures and focus on the upcoming season, which will most definitely be awesome. Yay us, they will say. Next year we're definitely getting it right. And they'll almost certainly be lying. I guess advertisers don't speak bullshitting TV executive because if they could, they'd see through all the bravado and invest their money in something more sensible, like a town crier. So with that said, let's see how much of this embarrassingly large mound of TV news I can wade through. This week in TV, Simpsons fans finally got confirmation that the show would be back for at least 2 more seasons. There had been some concern amongst the fanbase over the last few weeks as the main cast's contracts were up for renewal and negotiations were ongoing. Some feared if deals could not be reached, the network would simply opt to end the show, but then came the upfronts and Fox announced they were indeed bringing the long-running animated sitcom back, much to the relief of, well, let's be honest here, some. But that relief soon turned to dread for fans when Shearer took to Twitter to announce his departure from the show. Shearer has voiced several characters since the show's inception, including Ned Flanders, Mr. Burns, Smithers, Reverend Lovejoy, and Principal Skinner. Shearer's tweets hinted that the problem wasn't money so much as it was the freedom to work on other projects. Showrunner Al Jean spoke to Entertainment Weekly and stated that nothing about the contract prevented Shearer from pursuing other projects, and expressed hope that the veteran voice actor would come around. Jean added that if not, the characters won't be killed off, but will instead be recast, making this clip so bizarrely prophetic, it's creepy.
There's the Laughter Family. That's animated. Networks like animation because they don't have to pay the actors squat.
Plus, they can replace them and no one can tell the diddly difference.
This week, CBS finally decided to slay their once mighty, many-headed Hydra, otherwise known as CSI, when they chose to cancel the franchise's first and flagship series after 15 years of pretending to know how crime scene investigation actually works. Or how science works, for that matter. Fans of the show will be happy to hear that it will be getting a feature-length episode to wrap up its plots, and key actors will be sad to hear that those who are still under contract will be drafted to the show's even more poorly researched sibling, CSI Cyber. David Lynch announced this week that he's come to terms with Showtime and is back on board for the Twin Peaks revival. He announced it the same way he announced his departure, via Twitter. Has everyone just forgotten press releases exist? Between this and the Shearer situation, I can't help but wonder if quitting your job via Twitter will become standard practice in the future. At McDonald's, I won't be back to flip burgers on Monday, but soz. Last week, Fox announced that they don't like money anymore. What? That's the whole story. Fine, I'll explain. Last week, Fox cancelled the Mindy project, which at first glance doesn't seem like a particularly poor decision, but that is until you realise that the Mindy project was just one 21-episode season away from syndication. It's often said that syndication, or selling the rights to rerun a show into the ground, is where the real money is in TV. So the perplexing thing here is that while it wasn't a particularly profitable show, ratings-wise it seems the Mindy project was just about paying for itself. So a 4th season would have cost Fox very little, and in return would have made them a boatload of money. Okay, it's getting silly how often that picture is relevant. But fans of the show shouldn't be concerned, as streaming service Hulu has ordered a 26-episode season from Universal TV. This is the second comedy produced by Universal TV that's been moved to a digital service this year, the first being Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, which was ditched by NBC before they broadcast a single episode and picked up by Netflix instead. Maybe Universal should consider consolidating the process on their next show and just going straight to a digital platform. Alright, this isn't working, alright? I'm never going to get through all the cancelled and renewed shows at this rate. There's just too much going on, okay? Well, I don't know. We need a new tactic. I'm not sure. So here we are again. Time to buy ad space up front. The fate of my favourite TV shows I must now confront. Networks step out of the shadows to lay it bare, sending TV fans into a frenzy, a pit of despair. So much news and so little rundown. To cram it all in, I've cheated, which may be a bit of a letdown. A poem is how I'll present this news. Time to discover which shows the networks choose. Blackish is safe for another year, and American Crime will be back to spread more fear. The same cannot be said for Heart of Dixie. Its fate is sealed and it's cancelled like Marry Me. How to Get Away with Murder is safe and sound. Gallivant somehow got renewed, a surprising rebound. Resurrection is, quite ironically, dead, and A World Without About a Boy is something I dread. iZombie will be back to devour more brains, and we'll find out what an all-live season of Undateable contains. More irony, as Forever will come to an end, and giving a toss about Backstrom, even I can't pretend. Agent Carter will be back, which came as a surprise. The network also saw it fit to renew Secrets and Lies. Christella hung on for a bit, but finally succumbed to its fate. One Big Happy couldn't make it onto next year's slate. Fresh Off the Boat will return for more, and Nashville will be back to settle a score. New Girl is renewed, but will be held till mid-season, and fans of the McCarthys will see its cancellation as treason. Powers has been renewed by the good people at PlayStation, and unfortunately CSI Cyber has avoided annihilation. Stalker won't have another opportunity to follow you home, yet somehow CBS keep renewing Under the Dome. Following a solid year, ABC have renewed Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Once Upon a Time's status as renewed was revealed. Finally someone saw sense and cancelled the following, and following cancellation the weird loners will keep on wallowing. Elementary will be back to solve some more crimes, like how The Odd Couple was renewed despite only making me laugh sometimes. The Messengers has been cancelled, its prospects are pretty bleak, and tragically that's the last we'll see of procedural Battle Creek. Person of Interest will be back, but its order has been cut. The Good Wife will return to make another rebut. Revenge has been cancelled, but I'm not sure even the fan base cares, and it also seems this season was the last we'll see of State of Affairs. So there you have it, the rundown's rundown of cancelled and renewed shows. Those that have been cancelled have been left to decompose, and the rest will live to be destroyed at a date not yet disclosed, so that must be everything for this poem, I suppose. So that's everything for the rundown for this week. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you in a fortnight for more critique. A poem? What was I thinking? Why did I look off camera for the whole thing? It was just weird. Fucking upfronts.